Buddy.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad.
So, Mr. Mike Hippensteel, Hippensteel Auto in
Newville.
Our towing division director.
That's right.
So, I'm Bret Fadely, Vice President, Mid-Atlantic ACA. We were both part of the Alliance of Automotive Service Providers, Pennsylvania. And we made a decision to move forward with something better and come together as an organization. So, what are your thoughts behind that, and what do you think of what we did? What I want to say, how do I want to say it? Like, what we did, was it a good or bad thing, and what are your thoughts behind it?
Oh, it was the best move that we could have made. I don't know that there was a reason to have two associations representing automotive, whether it's body shop, towing, repair. Having two different associations made it a little difficult. So combining that with just one united association was the best move that we could have made.
Yeah, I agree. And, let's face it, AASP, we were hanging on by a thread, and that thread was shredding pretty quick.
Yes.
So we had to make a move, and with the national finding it similar situation where they completely folded as well.
Yes, and some people may not know what national is. They may not understand that Alliance of Automotive Service Providers is a national association.
It had 14 or 15 affiliates at one time, and then that has slowly decreased over the years.
Yes.
But yeah, they were finding it struggle to keep membership as well, so their numbers declined or revenue declined, so they're the same thing. And like you said, we needed a way to come together because we're all fighting for the same thing, trying to better the industry,
Yes.
Increase our legislation power in Harrisburg, and Mid-Atlantic ACA had the best option for us.
Yes.
We got a lot of backing from Sherry Hamilton and the ACA organization, the Auto Care Alliance.
She was key in this.
She was. Having her come in and help facilitate our final meeting was huge. And this took, 12, 14 months of discussions that we've had?
I was going to say close to 18 months, but it could have been just 12 or 14 months. But I know it's been a time-consuming project.
Right. So what made you join an association to begin with?
For me, this was asked the other day by another auto shop owner that's close to me. And for me, it's legislative power. We need an association to represent the auto industry, the auto repair industry in our state. And you have no idea what's going to come up. That some senator or representative might have a crazy idea in his head, and if he's got support and nobody to stop it, it's going to affect our industry.
It's going to, truly. So yeah, legislation is huge, and this is part of why you need numbers, because they need to hear their
power in numbers,
right? And you kind of joined the association when it was AASP,
even
before that.
Before that, yes.
Okay. So you were part of it when we were ASA.
ASA.
So you go back almost as far as I go back.
Yes.
And you've stepped up into some roles into the towing division, and
yeah, I was a little reluctant in doing that. I started out as coming on as a chapter, I guess a chapter member, or however that was at the time, delegate, I think it was, chapter delegate, and wasn't too sure on that. But as I got more familiar with it, then it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
And you've got a lot accomplished as the towing division director. I mean, what was it? The blue lights was a big. Well, we were a big part of that.
First, it was the white light, getting a different colored light on our light bar assembly, because we were only allowed amber lights. But every single vehicle down the road had an amber light, whether it's a garbage truck, landscape truck, post office vehicle. They all had amber lights. So we needed something to help differentiate towing operations along the roadway. So we went spoke to the transportation committee. They were real reluctant in getting us any other type of color of light, but they did eventually say you can have white, so you can have amber and white, and that didn't last very long because then other industries saw that the white light was on, so then
they followed
suit, and there was no enforcement of that because there wasn't really it was kind of this is what we'll let you have, but there was no enforcement or any type of violations that if you use this light if you're not a towing operator and you use a white light, you're going to get in trouble. However, and it wasn't really so much, the blue light wasn't so much our association. We did, that was through Senator Doug Mastriano, that helped push the blue light. But we were receptive to that, and we were supportive of that, having that blue light go through. So,
but yeah, that's part of it, that they come to us for help because
Yes.
it's our industry.
yes,
So this is where it's important,
yes.
and we can have a voice and say in what can be done.
They needed to know that we were supportive of that. So if it's just Joe Schmo down the road, they're looking for a group of people, and that group of people is
Somebody that stands out and represents well.
that's correct.
And that's what we're here to do, to try and raise the industry up as a whole.
Yes, and that's just towing, and towing is a small. The automotive repair industry is
It's
much
huge.
larger. Yes,
Yes, and there's always something that goes on up there in Harrisburg. I mean, right now we're working on a garage mechanics lien bill, and we're very close to having that done. So
that's exciting.
It is exciting. That's been 20, 25 years in the making.
Yes. You and I were in that meeting together with. Was it Culver, Senator
Yep.
Culver?
Their staff, the Bankers Association, and PennDOT was there.
Yes.
And they were real receptive to it,
Yes.
which is huge.
Yeah. Coming out of that meeting, I felt really like we accomplished something.
Right.
So
Now this is you don't get a call to go to these meetings if you are not participating in an association.
No.
If you're not representing the industry well. This is where it is important for all of us to come together to lock arms, so to speak, and stand here and say, hey, this is who we are. Our industry's not going away.
No.
It's going to change, but it doesn't go away. And by getting involved, not only will the legislation power, the networking is key.
Networking.
I mean, that's kind of what helped my father's business get along, because he got involved with, at that time, I think it was ASC, became ASA, then eventually was the president of the state.
Okay.
So it kind of all fell to me when it was my turn. As you know, I was reluctant as well.
Well, and that's so that's kind of the beauty of the associations, that there could be somebody out there that we have no idea that they could be the perfect representative.
Could, yeah.
And I might not be the best person, so there might be somebody else out there that can represent the industry much better than what I can.
Same here.
So that's why come together, and if we see something like, hey, we really need you, we need you to step up to the plate, because
I think what it's going to take is just us who have been around for a while. Like we left our Mid-Atlantic meeting, our first in-person meeting together. Wasn't a lot of people there, but what we took out of that is if we could each invite somebody the next time or two, and it'll continue to grow, because once you get there, you start meeting people, you start talking, you feel comfortable. We're not asking you to step into a leadership role. Get involved.
Right. Just give us ideas. Give us something to work with.
Like you said, they may have a perfect idea that's going to work better than with us sitting around here talking about it. We've expunged our ideas. Some good, some bad.
That's right.
I don't know that. I've had a lot of ideas and things go through my head, and sometimes it overwhelms me. Yeah. Like I came back from Vision for the first time, and I highly recommend, if you've never been to Vision, to make it a point to at least go once.
Yeah.
It's a huge production, and I couldn't sleep for like 3 days.
because of the excitement.
I was so exhausted. Laid down. 20 minutes later, I'm awake. My head was just spinning,
Yeah.
like with ideas and everything else going on. It's like this and this and this, but you get excited about some of this stuff. Now we're having a training event at the end of May. Tools, Pennsylvania, over at Lancaster, May 29th to June 1st. And that's the other part of joining an organization is the opportunities for top-notch training to expand your knowledge and skills and your staff.
Right.
So it's definitely worth coming in and doing these things. And I know chapter meetings have gone kind of wayside.
Right.
I think we need to get back to that, maybe re-envision what they are, not just a business meeting, but see what we can do to build some excitement.
Right.
Social. We talked about social things. Just do a social night.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we start.
You've done some legislative nights where you bring in the legislators and
Yeah, the legislative nights have been going on since 93, 94 here in York, and we have a very good rapport with our local contingent,
that's great.
which is huge. And John Kulik, our lobbyist for Maaca, is always said that that's been one of the best because there's some of our legislators here in York County have sat on key spots in the state. So it's always helps when you need something. And they'll call, like you said, they'll reach out to us.
Right.
Hey, we got this. There's a co-sponsorship bill going around. What are your suggestions on it? So that's what's nice about it.
Yeah.
Once we've established that relationship, they're coming to us asking for our opinion, like they did with you with the lights.
Yeah.
So we only need help. We need your help to get involved and do this. So
Reach out to us if you're not sure, if you have questions. Talk to people that are already members and ask the questions.
yeah, get involved. Bring your ideas. Mid-Atlantic has a bunch of programs. We have done some recordings on the SOS program. It's a shop owner support group. That's part of what you get as a member. And what that is maybe it's not a chapter meeting. It's just a group where you can get in there with like-minded industry people and share your ideas. Again, like you might have an idea that worked for you. That's what the networking is for.
Right.
I got people I can call across the country like, hey, how'd you get through this? And they'll tell me. And it's not a magic pill. You have to put some effort into it.
Right.
But networking is key. But that shop owner support is a group that you can get involved with, part of your membership. And you can create, it's almost like a small 20 group, so to speak.
Okay.
And if you talk to anybody that has a business coach and they are participating in one of their groups or 20 groups or whatever they call them, you get more out of that sometimes than you do your business coach.
Right.
So that's where, what did somebody just say? I just heard the terminology. Yeah, you go to these training events. If you've never been to them, you do gain knowledge from the classes you take because you may have heard some of the stuff repetitively, but you do gain something new. The majority of your knowledge will come from sitting at the bar, sitting in the atrium area and just networking and talking with other people.
The venting.
Yes, because the amount of knowledge that comes to this is the top 1% of our industry.
Yeah.
So we're part of that top 1%.
Venting is huge because nobody else knows the industry like other shop owners. You can't vent to your spouse. You can't vent to your. It's very difficult to vent to anybody but other shop owners because they understand, and sometimes they'll listen to you and they'll be like, "Well, have you tried this?" And well, no, I didn't think of that. So that's where the networking and venting
is huge.
It is,
and the amount of knowledge, and it goes from people that have owned a shop for 40, 50 years down to people that are 2 or 3 years in, and that amount of knowledge is just going to build and raise this industry to where it should be.
Right.
And with the technology that's out there, we know those shops that don't want to do the training, don't want to invest in their staff, and they're doing it cheap. They're not going to be around much longer.
No, you can't. You got to invest into your business, and if you're doing it cheap, you can't invest into your business. You're just doing work.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing work. And what kind of work is it? We don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I know what goes out of my shop, and if it's something that's not right, I'm going to 100% own it.
Right.
I'm not going to hide it
Yeah.
and blame somebody else. So get involved. We need you part of this grassroots effort to reestablish an association in Pennsylvania as a group of like-minded people that want to do better.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Yep.
So if you're out there, give us go to midatlanticaca.org. The benefits are out there. There's a page you can see everything that's involved as far as the benefits that are available to you. We were just talking. I showed you one about the what they call it. It was something about with your employees. Where was that at? And I'll edit that out.
You had it. You told me about it. All the
Shop care.
Yep.
So there's a benefit out there to help to take care of your employees, not only with their health insurance. It's called shop care, where you're going to invest in their mental health as well. How many businesses do the mental health investment? So as a business owner, we know it's hard to find staff, keep staff. There's a perfect opportunity. How many businesses are offering, hey, we're going to invest in you and go get free health care, dental, vision, and mental health care.
Mental health.
It's huge. Not a lot of people do that.
No.
So if you're looking for ways to offer to keep your staff, ACA has some great benefits that you can, they're very affordable, and offer them to your staff. Don't make them pay for it. Pay for it for them.
Yes. Yeah. Treat your staff well.
You know, you mentioned that there's an adage out there that people are, and Jonathan Tangy and I talked about this in the last video. Some people are afraid to take their staff to training because they're going to lose them. You know, you may get, how many times have I heard in the old days, they bring in a younger tech specialist now. I guess we're trying to change that terminology.
Yeah.
You send them to get their certifications for inspection, emissions, whatever. You train them, and then they leave.
They find something else.
Why did they leave? Was it money? Was it the culture? Was it this or that? So there's
Usually
multiple.
it's because you didn't sell your vision to your employee.
You didn't get them to buy in.
Yep.
And you didn't treat them right.
Yep.
There's a reason. Now, sometimes maybe that's a good thing that they left. Saved you the heartache of firing them.
That's right.
But there was an adage, and I forget who it is. I think it's the guy that has Virgin Records, whatever his name is. But train your people to, as if they were going to leave, treat them so they never will. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it starts with you to create that culture where people want to come and work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the training events that always be recruiting, I understand it. I have a hard time, though, doing it.
Yeah.
Because you're only recruiting when you need somebody. And I understand the idea, but if they're out there looking, they're looking for a job now.
Yeah.
It's a great thing, and if I could ever get it in my head to do that positively, where you can maintain them on what they call the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never short-staffed.
Right.
But it's hard.
It is hard. It is hard.
Because it's like, well, hey, I want you as part of our team, but right now I'm fully staffed, but I'm going to put you on my bench. And there's ways to do it. Go to these classes. I know Rick White teaches a class about retention, always be recruiting. Cecil, all these instructors do classes about always be recruiting.
Right.
And how do you bring those people in where they will hold off that they want to be part of your team? Mm-hmm. And that starts with you creating that culture where people want to come, offering different types of benefits that nobody else is offering.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a tiered benefit package, and I got that from a training class.
That's great.
And I'll customize it. So I'm not just saying, okay, I'm giving you health care. What if they don't need the health care?
They may not. They may get that from their spouse.
Right. So what are you doing in lieu of them not taking health care? It's saving you money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
But you're not giving them an optional benefit. So I thought about that. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're 100% right. Yeah, I'm saving $1,000 a month by not paying their health care. But what are they not? They're not getting something in lieu of that. So I structured a tiered benefit package. So if they don't need a health care, I got other options.
And you learned that from one of your classes.
I did.
Yep.
So what they'll do is, I'll give them some ideas, because most of them are like, what are you talking about? Because they're used to that. Okay, here's a health care package. If you don't need it, we need you to sign this paper. So if they don't need it, do they need help with rent? Do they need help with their mortgage? So in lieu of, and I got a price tag on it, like it's up to this value. So I will give them that benefit. You can't give it directly to them.
Right.
It's income. Found that out a long time ago. But there's ways around it. So I will give them the benefit, but I need to pay their benefit to the lender directly, so it doesn't go through them. But
got it.
There are ways around it.
Yeah.
And there are things you can do to do that.
I've the tool benefit plan.
Yeah.
Where you can pay for your employee the tool bill every month, and that actually is a deductible expense for a business owner because they're tools. So you can provide a benefit of tools to your employee and also receive a benefit yourself.
Yeah. So this is part of becoming into a group, an organization. You get to learn these things. You go to these training events. You learn this stuff. Just networking around, I found out ideas that, wow, I'm going to see how I can do them. Mm-hmm. It's huge.
Yeah.
What else you got planned? You registered for tools yet?
I have not registered for tools yet. And I knew you were going to ask me that. Yeah.
Excuses. By the way, I saw you went down to the Wrestling Nationals?
Yeah, the Division I NCAA Wrestling Championship in Philadelphia.
How was that?
It was great. It gets better every year. I believe this is my 14th year of attending. So
Penn State do well?
Penn State won the championship.
So they won again?
They won again.
Was that 3 or 4 in a row?
This is 4 in a row. The only year that they didn't win was the COVID year. It was since they actually didn't hold the championship, so they gave it to Iowa at that point. But
did they feel bad for the Buckeyes or the Hawkeyes?
The Hawkeyes, yeah. Those
Fuck 'em. I bleed blue and white, and that's it.
But Penn State beat the team point record again. So I think it was 177 team points, which is unheard of. They also had 10 All-Americans. All 10 of their wrestlers placed. I think there were 6 third-place finishers, 1 6th-place finisher, 1 5th-place finisher. So yeah, they had 2 champions. So
oh wow,
yeah.
How did this all come about? Is it from a coach?
Cale Sanderson is probably one of the best wrestling coaches out there. Yes, we were lucky to land him.
Well, you are wrestling because your daughter wrestles.
My daughter wrestles. My son wrestles as well. My daughter she's a senior in high school, and she just got an athletic scholarship to Point Park University in Pittsburgh. So,
awesome.
Yep, Division II wrestling.
Proud papa.
Yes. Yep, can't wait.
Did you wrestle?
I wrestled in high school. Yep.
I tried it 1 year. Didn't last too long. I got on I just tried it.
Yeah.
And they blew the whistle. I heard that. All right, this isn't for me.
I played soccer, before that. I tried a couple different sports, soccer, basketball. I wasn't big enough for football, so I didn't do football. But wrestling, I really enjoyed. So
I had a bunch of friends that were really well. Where I'm from, Dover, Pennsylvania. Back when I went to school in the '70s and the '80s, Dover was big. They had a wrestling program out there. It was huge.
Yeah, Dover does. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it, but the coaches all moved on and retired, and or I think one of them has passed on by now. But
Pennsylvania's the wrestling state. I believe I forget the statistic, but pretty much most all, even though a lot of wrestlers go to schools in Arizona, Iowa, the majority of those wrestlers come from Pennsylvania. So even though I hate rooting
you'll root for the individual.
Yeah, I'll root for the individual because they're a Pennsylvania
That's
person.
cool. That's cool. I wanted to ask you about that because I knew you were going down there.
Yeah.
I've never been to something like that. I'm not a big wrestling fan unless it's WWE or, and even that gets a little.
Well, President Trump attended the finals.
Did he?
Yep, he was there. So President Trump is a fan of wrestling. He had in his entourage, he had Jim Jordan, which Jim Jordan was a wrestler. Senator McCormick. He was co-captain for the wrestling team for West Point.
Oh, wow.
When he went to West Point. And so, yeah, he had a whole slew of wrestling fans with him. So, and he stayed until the very end. They were going to leave 2 matches before the end, but he wanted to stay. So,
interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to bring up about towing or, ACA?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head other than we need your support. Become a member. As far as towing, we'd like to grow the towing division. So if there's things that you see within the industry that need to change, join the membership. And
let your voice be heard.
Yeah, come talk to me because I know towing does not have a whole lot of representation right now. So we need to know about that.
Yeah, we and you might be a mechanical shop that has towing, but that's 2 parts of what we're offering.
Right.
We're also trying to get the collision shops involved. That's always been a struggle.
Yeah.
Because of what they have to deal with on a daily basis as far as the direct repair and
collision is a whole. I'm kind of glad I'm not in that industry,
yeah.
but with collision, you're dealing with insurance companies, and insurance companies have a lot of power
and a deep pocket.
Yes, so you need association representation with that.
Yeah, if you want change, it starts by getting involved so we can grow the numbers, so we can combat these problems and help you improve the situation that you think you're under. You're technically not, but you think you're under it.
Right.
But if we come together as a group, we can help change that. And that's the only way it's going to get involved. Yep. Come to these things. At Tools, we have some collision courses that we put in. We have 4 of them. We're going to have vendors on the trade show floor that are going to be collision and body work.
Great.
So we were trying to do something with towing.
Yeah.
Didn't work this year, but we're going to still continue to work on
something that I would like to work on, but I kind of need some help.
We need help with that. So if you got ideas, if you want to come and you're just strictly a tower and you want to come to a training event, but you say there's nothing there for you, reach out to us. Give us your ideas. Get involved. Help us grow this.
Yeah.
So we're representing all aspects of our industry, from mechanical, body, towing. Yeah, well, I think at one time we had service stations, but those have all gone by the wayside. Right. Yeah. So now you're all into the mechanical side, but we need your help.
Yeah, and that's important for people to understand that you and I are still shop owners.
Yeah, and I'm still a shop owner,
and we're doing this. It takes a lot of time on our end, and that's why we're asking for some help, because it's difficult with all the things that we're doing within the shop, but also to spend your evenings and getting events together, and weekends, and all the meetings, and I have. I'm also a school board director, so I'm on that. I'm also a planning commission member for my township. So there's a lot of things going on in our own personal lives that's why, people are sometimes they judge a little bit too harshly sometimes and say, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? Well,
bring your ideas.
bring your ideas. Help us. Help us.
Yep. Don't sit back and say, hey, like Mike, you just said, well, they changed things. They didn't ask me. If we don't know who you are, we can't ask you.
Yeah.
Come to these meetings. Come get involved. Go to midatlanticaca.org and hit join now to become a member. If you are an ASP member that you have yet to, you were wondering, why should I join? I will tell you the grass is greener on this side of the fence with a lot more opportunity for growth.
Yes.
We were looking for it. We found it. We came together. We talked about it, and it's going to work for the betterment of our industry. So get involved. We're going to do more of these recordings throughout on different topics. If you got a topic, reach out to us at midatlanticaca.org and let us know.
And Bret, for Mid-Atlantic, that's not just Pennsylvania, correct?
It is not. We're talking New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. So we have it's a region.
Yes.
Right now we're concentrating on PA because we're trying to fix what we had. But yeah, we have members, shops, and potential members interested in Jersey. We already pretty much have something established in Delaware. They're ready to go. Maryland, we have some that are interested in Maryland. So if you want to find out, your perfect opportunity is May 29th to June 1st. Come to Tools in Lancaster. It's at the Wyndham Lancaster Resort and Convention
resort.
Center. That's nice. We got over 50-some training classes from the front of the shop to the back of the shop. Collision. We're going to have a 17,000 square foot trade show floor on Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon. So there's plenty of opportunities to come. Bring your staff, learn, introduce yourself to what Mid-Atlantic ACA is, and we'll be there. Ask questions.
It's right across from Dutch Wonderland. So
Dutch Wonderland, Tanger outlets are right there. There's other outlets up the road. So bring your spouses, bring your family, let them have some time. We did leave some ample time in the agenda for find your own way and do your own things. We have a women's only social we're going to be having for the amazing women in automotive.
good.
A lot of things going on. So that's your perfect opportunity if you're looking for an excuse to see what we're all about. Come to Tools, May 29th to June 1st.
Good.
So, all right, Mike.
All right.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks,
you,
Bret.
sir.
Thanks for having me.
We'll do this some more often. I know we had fun doing it in the past.
Yeah.
So.